Hi, today I'll show you how you can create a fraud alert voice agent for Stripe in Gridspace. Now the way this voice agent would work is that we have set up some rules in Stripe that detects fraudulent transactions. Whenever these are detected, we're sending a webhook to Gridspace, which then triggers our voice agent. So then call up the owner of said Stripe account or store, and then we'll help them reviewing that transaction. So let's go into our Stripe dashboard right here. So here we have our Stripe dashboard of a fictional e-commerce store. And we are here inside the radar section, which is basically Stripe's fraudulent detection solution. And we have some rules here set up. So if you go down to our review rules, we set up rules for if the amount is below $10, because in our store we don't sell anything below $10, even with discounts. It will then trigger this transaction for review, means something is wrong, and also if it's a risk is elevated or from an elevated risky country. So if you go into our then review section here, you can see that we have actually one transaction here that is below $10, and you can see here that transaction is from Ecuador, which in our system is flagged as an elevated risk country. Now this has triggered now a webhook to Gridspace, which then Grace will then soon call me up, helping me review this transaction. And here she's calling me right now.
Hi, John. This is Grace, your Stripe Automated Fraud Detection Assistant. I'm calling to alert you about a potentially suspicious transaction on your Stripe account. You have a moment to review it with me?
Yes, I do.
Thank you. Here are the details of the transaction in question. The amount is for $4.29. The transaction is from Ecuador, and the customer's name is Mark Smith. This transaction has been flagged due to an unusual amount, and the transaction being from a high-risk country. Based on the transaction detail, you have two options. Accept the transaction if you recognize the customer and approve the payment, or refund the transaction if this seems fraudulent or suspicious. Would you like accept or refund this transaction?
Refund it.
Understood. I will process the refund now and notify the customer. You'll receive a confirmation email shortly. If you suspect fraud, you can also report this transaction to Stripe for further investigation. Would you like to flag this customer for future transaction?
Yes, flag that customer.
I will update the system to monitor this customer more closely. Thank you for keeping your business secure. Have a safe and successful day. Goodbye.
Now, if we go back into our Stripe dashboard, we can see that, in the reviews, it has been reviewed. And also then if you go into our transactions, you can see that, yes, it has been refunded. So as you just saw here, Grace was able to let me know about the transaction and then help me review it as the business owner, and also then help me also flag the customer for future transactions. Now I'm going to go in and show you how we have connected this all together. Now how we have connected Stripe with Gridspace is we have set up a webhook here in Stripe with Zapier, which is an automation tool that integrates different systems together. And here we have set up a webhook that listens to review rules. So if never a new review is opened, this webhook is triggered. So we can then go into our Zapier. Here is our Zap. You see the workflow automation here. We have then here catching the information from the webhook. We're then formatting that data, formatting it for our purpose. And then here we're sending out the new webhook to Gridspace. It's a post request, sending it to this endpoint, which is an endpoint for starting an outbound session in Gridspace. And here we're sending out our JSON data. And also here we have our basic auth with our account ID and our secret key, which you can find in the account info inside your Gridspace account. And then this is a setup that will trigger the outbound session in Gridspace with the information from Stripe. So now we are inside Gridspace, specifically we are inside our playbooks, and this is the playbook or the script of the whole flow of the fraud alert voice agent. And here we have a start page where we can then see we're using names dynamically. This is from the information we already got from the webhook. So it is Hi John in this case. It's great to store Stripe Automated Assistant and your intro script. And here we are first confirming with the store owner that you have time for reviewing this transaction. And we have some parts here, and then yes, review now. And then here we are getting this information we got from the webhook. So we're using this dynamically where the amount, location, and the customer name, letting the business owner know about this information. And then we're telling them the reason for flagging. Again, we got this from the webhook. And then you have telling some options. You have two options here. You can either accept the payment or refund it. In this case, we choose to refund the payment. And then here we're running a connector, which is basically a script, which is communicating with Stripe, which is then refunding, basically reviewing the transaction and then refunding the transaction. And once we have done this, we can then go into another question here where we are asking, would you like to flag the customer? And then yes, we're then running here another script, which is then communicating again with Stripe, which is then flagging that specific customer for future transactions. And then we also, this is the outcome page, which is end the playbook right here, or ending the script. Now it's just a simple overview of the whole flow. And of course, our setup also includes a simple call flow and a voice agent. So if you'd like to know how to create those, you can go into our Grace 101 video, check more out of the basics of how to use Grace and create Grace setups. Now, if you have any questions about this flow, feel free to leave a comment below. We'll answer any questions you have there. And also, if you'd like to see Grace in different scenarios, you can go into our website, gridspace.com, to check out more demos of Grace and also test it out for yourself. All right, thank you for watching.